My name is Karen Ann Jones, and it is May 23rd, 2024. I am a figure painter and an oil painter, actually. I've been an oil painter since about 7th grade. Um, my art teacher was fantastic in 7th grade, and he taught us acrylics and then oil painting right away, and I've been an oil painter ever since. I grew up in Arizona, which was a phenomenal place to grow up. We had such good art in the 70s, and there was still art in school, and it was just really a lot of what art is all about. It kind of created. I was always an artist, but it created the perspective of being able to see, being able to see life in a different way, nature, people, and I may not have even been aware of it then, but it really impacted and influenced who I am now as an artist. I, we work and grow as artists, but figuring out your why isn't handed to you in 7th grade. You know what kind of is, but you don't know your why. You gotta work through that. So I would say that my upbringing did, my whole life has created the why of what I do. Um, I've always been a positive, uplifting person, vibrant and vital, and I think that shows in my colors of my work. But and to celebrate individuality has been a very important thing. My brothers are very unique also, and just to really celebrate how everyone is very unique. And I've always been kind of a cheerleader in that, and I think that my artwork is kind of being a cheerleader for life's adventures. And my mom and dad always took us on Sunday drives all around Arizona, and we took little adventures, and I think that adventuresome spirit um, definitely supported that, and that life's a gift, and it's not a superficial, shallow thing that just we are born and go to the grocery store, eat and sleep and die. I think it's a lot more interesting and fun than that. My biggest influences, I mean, artists have always influenced me, but I think now it's other artists that are alive and really doing it, really connecting with why they're artists, what they're painting or creating, and who they're creating it for, and they're really kicking some butt in the art world, and celebrating that being an artist is super fun and cool, and we're lucky to be artists, really. I think that other artists really are my influence now. What I'm focusing on right now is painting, solidly painting, and really speaking my voice as an artist and what I'm trying to communicate, and to show that life is fun and interesting, and to cheer people on, and that people are unique and their souls are also special, and really getting rid of a lot of the tasks of business and staying really clearly in flow of creating, because I think it makes you better to really stay in the flow. I guess that's kind of also my challenge, is to hand off tasks so that I don't get sidetracked by doing the business part of it, and so that I have the most time to be able to work on creating art. And they will always say that, say, oh, we want to paint and not do business. But I think sometimes the business part is fun, but it's completely a different mindset of what you're working on, and and just staying in the flow of painting and that creative space of pure creation of your dreams are different. When you sleep, you wake up, and your every part of your body is embracing creation. That's kind of the challenge, I guess, is balancing all that and just diving in and hiring other people to do all those tasks that need to be done. Um, so I kind of wish it would be great if we could just look back to our 7-year-old self and give ourselves advice. I wish that was a real thing, because that'd be so cool. And I used to say, yeah, be confident and know that it's going to work out, but that's kind of it's. I was always positive, and I always thought things would work out. So that wasn't really. I kind of knew that then, but the advice I would really give my younger self is learn from people who are actually succeeding in exactly what it is you want to do. Because when I was 7, always wanted to be a painter. I knew that. So I should have asked an adult, like, find somebody help me find somebody exactly that's doing that, and let me mentor them or learn from them and exactly how to do that. And because now it's all out there on, in the internet. You can learn from exactly who you want to be, and kind of fine tune that. But back then were just real people in real life. But it really would have been great if I would have just found a mentor at a very young age that was actually a living, working, breathing, successful, thriving artist. Have I ever tried interesting techniques? Actually, I think I kind of try them all the time, but a while ago, about 10 years ago, I was painting on steel. I quit painting on canvas. It's been about 15 years ago. I completely quit painting on canvas, and I fell in love with the hard surface. And I had started painting on black 1/4-inch steel, which was super fun. And they were pretty big. Well, they're 30 by 40 camp steel sheets that really bonded with the oil paint and were fun. I even took the piece of steel and put it on top of my stove and heated it up and made this mixture of, I can't remember exactly what it is now, but it was like hydrogen peroxide and something else, and it was watery. And you could actually, if the steel was hot, you could paint a stripe of rust on the steel. So at the background I would paint rust, and that was super fun. I painted on steel for quite a few years, and then it got difficult to have the steel available, and it's heavy. I always thought it was gonna fall on my toe. But then now I just paint on hardboard, hard wood surface, which I really like too, and there's standard sizes which make it wonderful. But I think that's part of an artist. It's always fun to keep searching for new things. And when I was in high school and college and art, it was oil paint, turpentine, and linseed oil. And now there's so many mediums, and there's so many products out there. It's kind of insane. You just take yourself on a date to the art supply store, and you get new things, and it's fun. It really is. So when I paint, I just started doing this. I don't listen to music, but I started doing this I don't even know, 10 years ago, I would listen to TV shows in the background, and specifically TV shows from the 70s or 80s, like uh, Quincy or The Streets of San Francisco or something like that, Columbo. And I asked myself, why do I listen to those TV shows? And I think it's a little bit of a practical, back then in the 70s and 80s, TV shows had a lot of dialogue, especially murder mysteries and stuff like that. And so I read about this recently that if when you're painting, you can take your mind completely onto a listening to something specific, it takes away the logicalness of your painting. It makes you not logical, and it makes you flow and just let it come out of your hands. And so now the tool actually makes sense to me. Why I listen to it's like listening to stories where you don't have to look up. There's a lot of TV made now is you have to watch it. You can't just listen to it. So anything like that where you're just listening to a story it takes my mind off of it takes it out of the logical part of it. And it really helps my painting. And and it reminds me of being a kid and skipping school and making art when you're a kid, and you're just, because everybody didn't do that. No, everybody in the world didn't skip school and make art and think it was the best thing ever because you really weren't sick. So the best reaction, I don't know if this is the best reaction, but I remember it succinctly. Best reaction someone had about my artwork was I lived in a 30,000 square foot warehouse, and my my studio was 2,000 square feet, and I had all these paintings in there, and somebody was coming through my building. It was like a tour. It was like a building tour, and strangers were coming in. And of course, I'd have them walk through my studio, just see if anybody wanted to look at my art. Anyway, this couple walk in, and they complete total strangers. And I don't even know why. I'm like hugely not political, but I had this 4-foot square face of Hillary Clinton painting on the wall, and this guy just walks up and says, "That's mine, I'm buying it and taking it with me." It was just so spontaneous, and it wasn't cheap, and it was super just funny, and he walked it out, and it was just that instant impulse of purchase. And then I started thinking, well, is he going to burn it or something? What is he going to do? But it doesn't really matter. But anyway, it was funny and fun. So in my art, and what I hope that people really take away from my art, other than, being a cheerleader, is that buying and owning art is a perfect way to remind yourself of your own inner brilliance. Like, to remind yourself, it's like hanging on your wall every day, and you can look at it, and that to celebrate your unique soul, and that you connect with something in the painting that resonates with how unique you are, and how special you being in this world is, and that is a reminder, and that when it gets really hard in life, that can especially be a reminder to that. Well, thank you so much, and happy art making.